Hi guys, my name is Dr. Habaiti. This is Existential.Kulture. Today we're going to be talking about hands in film. Now, hands are an interesting thing when it comes to art in general. If you've ever drawn or illustrated, you know hands are difficult to get right in the beginning. And if you even look at with the advent of AI, hands look like janky and weird and stuff, So there's something interesting about hands when it comes to art. So I thought I'd explore that a little bit with hands in film. One of my favorite directors, Nicholas Winding Refn, he's got a movie, Only God Forgives, where hands play a real theme. The movie is very quiet, generally speaking, but there are moments where hands are literally the core of the story. This continues as a theme in his work when you look at Drive. When Driver introduces himself initially to the movie's antagonist, Driver says, "My hands are dirty." There's an awkward pause as they wait to shake hands, and the antagonist says, So am I. Now, this is very interesting when you see how hands can play part of a story as a motif. You see it in, again, Denis Villeneuve's, I can't ever get the name right, don't know if I did, but you see it in his Arrival film where this might be on purpose or not, but the heptapods, they look like trees that can walk. They remind me of hands when you look at them, like they've got knuckles or something like that, right? But those aren't the movies I want to talk about. I want to talk about the everyday man's geopolitical action drama, which is, for me, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Now, Kingdom is out at the moment. I watched it, I enjoyed it, but it doesn't hit the spot quite as much as Dawn did for me, especially the moment when Caesar says this.
Apes! Do not want war, but will fight if we must.
That's bone-chilling stuff, right? Ape do not want war. Anyways, what I liked about the movie, when it comes to hands, Koba and Caesar's relationship in the beginning, you can see how close they are by the way their hands connect with one another. And again, this is a theme that continues throughout as their relationship deteriorates because of Koba's experience with humans is not quite the same as Caesar's experience with humans. And he reminds us when he says human work. He points to the scars and the brutalities felt from humanity, from human beings, because he comes from a lab essentially where he was experimented on, and he saw the worst of humanity. That scar has stayed with him. Those scars, both emotional, real, and personal. Whereas Caesar, of course, was raised by his adopted father/owner, who he eventually liberated himself from, because Caesar himself did not want to be a pet, even though his humans saw Caesar as a son. But the relationship still is quite an important one for Caesar. Now, how hands play a part in the film is initially in the beginning of the movie, they connect fully with each other's hands, right? But as the relationship deteriorates, as Caesar and Koba begins to fall out, their hands kind of like flick. They don't really touch fully, especially after they have a full-on altercation. Right up until the end, after we've seen the culmination of the entire movie, Koba's betrayed Caesar. He's become a bit of a warlord, authoritarian type of character. And Caesar has to fight back to kind of become the alpha once again as he's kind of aging out of his role as the leader. And how we see this end is that they went from holding hands very clasping quite tightly to right at the end when their hands are completely separated from one another. They don't touch. Caesar, just going against his own code of ape, do not kill ape. He lets go of Koba's hand, letting him plunge to his death. Then it's a very powerful moment, and it's a difficult one for Caesar. And now that we're here, like I said, for me, this is the everyday man's thinking blockbuster, if you will, this franchise, I mean specifically, because it really addresses human behavior, but from an outside perspective. So it lets you think about it objectively and judge it objectively. And what I also like about it, it tries to favor the better side of humanity. Marvel often favors the more capitalist side of humanity as opposed to what's right for mankind. So it's an interesting franchise. I'm really curious to see where it will go. I have watched Kingdom. I really enjoyed it. I won't discuss it now. And if you've made it this far, these are some of the first 3 episodes of Existential.Kulture. I hope you guys like it. I hope you're going to enjoy it. And like, subscribe, all the things, and share, etc. Be good. Be out.